4, 3.
Hello, I'm Digital Duck, and this is Tintin on the Moon. It's a Spectrum game from the late 80s, so it's kind of in the late era of the Spectrum's actual life. I'm just leaving it to do its own thing at the moment. I'm not. I will restart, and we'll start in a few seconds. So let's find. There we go. Okay, so let's start in 3, 2, 1. Go. So, Tintin on the Moon is an adaptation of the games of the Tintin stories Destination Moon and Explorers on the Moon. It features Tintin already on the rocket, heading towards the moon, and in order to get there, we have to collect red orbs. I don't know why we have to collect red orbs, that's just the thing we have to do. We can also collect these yellow orbs, and they will give us health, as while we're travelling in the rocket, we will lose health. Once we've collected 10 red orbs, we will go to the second section of the game. And here we go. So in this section, we are actually controlling Tintin on the ship. We have to collect the fire extinguisher. We have to spray this guy, because this guy is going around setting fires and arming bombs. And once we've sorted everything, all of his troubles out, we go straight back to the space section again. And we do this 5 times, so there are 5 levels. It gets harder each time. The first one is the easiest, obviously. There are a few more things in the space section, so we've got some asteroids here. They will make us lose health every time we touch them. We're going to try and avoid them as much as we can. We're straight back into the ship section, so straight forward towards the fire extinguisher. We're going to wait here because we know that there he goes. Spray him immediately, and then we're going to put out a fire. You can put out fires through walls, by the way. Walls are catered to fire extinguishers. And then we're going to pick up the 2 bombs. The bombs are always in the same place in every game, and the green guy always takes the same path through the game, but the fires are random. So there is RNG involved, and how often they appear and when they appear are random. But they do only appear while the green guy is running around. So if we get rid of him early, we can stop too many fires from spawning. What else is there to say? This game was also on various other 8-bit and 16-bit platforms. So it was on the CPC and Commodore 64, as well as DOS. And those versions are very different to this. They are basically a completely different game. Some might say they're better, but I actually really like the way this is, because those are flip screen games where you. Oh, I've just been knocked out by the green guy. So Captain Haddock there got captured. So if one of the NPCs, like Captain Haddock or Professor Calculus, walks into the green guy, they will be captured, and you have to go and free them before you can carry on. But yeah, the other versions of the game are flip screen games, so each room is its own screen, and when you go off the right hand side of the screen, you appear in the left hand side of the next room. The Spectrum version is the only one where it's actually completely smooth scrolling, and I think that changes the dynamic of the game a lot. So we're going to collect some more red orbs here. We don't really get very much downtime in this game, so like you're constantly on focus. You only get a few seconds between levels. There's a red one. There we go. Straight up here. Collect the bomb. We're going to free Haddock again. Get the fire extinguisher. And he appears here, I think. There he is, okay. Wasn't quite the route I thought he took, but good enough. Collect some more bombs. We're going to repeat the same process. Again, the earlier we spray the green guy, the faster we can get through the rest of the level, because while he's awake and alive, he will stop stop setting fires. He can get up after you spray him, so when you spray him, he isn't necessarily down for good. There is a random chance that he'll get back up again. He's been fairly good to me. He did get back up once, but he's been quite good this game. We need to get some more reds. A lot of the orbs that appear actually go off the screen before you can collect them. Like, even if you were to sit on the edge waiting for them to appear, they would just go off the screen too quickly. So you do kind of need a bit of luck. I'm going to get this yellow one because it's free. This red one, there we go. And this one. Nope, that's too far away. This one. There we go. So each level, actually, you can tell the level number by the number of bombs. So the first level has 1, the second level has 2, and so on. This is the 5th and final level, where we have 5 bombs to disarm. So we're going to go, and we're going to try and find the green guy. I forget where he is on this level. I think if I go up here, and then wait at the top here. Here. Okay, that was that was I wasn't expecting that. I thought I still had fires to put out. Okay. So this is the last level. We only have to collect 3 orbs, and then we are done. So that was 1. That was 2. And then time is on the final orb. And not that one. There we go, and that is time. And Tintin has made it to the moon. That's what you get for an ending, which is actually quite a lot for a Spectrum game. Congratulations, Tintin has made it to the moon. That's it. And by the way, the game is called Tintin on the Moon. We don't play any of it on the moon. It's a bit of a bad name. Anyway, that's it. So thanks for watching. It's Quick Snacks next, I think. So enjoy that.
ready to transition in 5, 4.
Hello, so it's me again, Digital Duck. I'm going to show you Drift, but I've actually closed the game down for just a second because I want to give you the full intro experience before we start. So when you start up the game, you get this. It asks you to push a key to start the engine, and you do that, and this happens. Sour please in chat. And after all of this nice intro animation, you do get a brief tutorial on how to drift. So approaching the corner, steer the car into the skid, and then holding the gas pedal, turn the steering wheel to the opposite direction to drift. So that's it. We're going to kick it off. I need to load my save state, which is right here. There we go. So this is a World Champion New Game Plus run, which means we're starting from a completed save. So I'm actually in 2025 now. I've been playing this for quite a while. We're going to start in. Let's go with 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Drift. This is a racing game actually made in 2019 by Zosia, which is a group which have made quite a few games, and they're all fairly interesting. This is a racing game, so we're going to be completing tracks as quickly as possible. It's as close to 3D as the Spectrum can really do for a racing game. We've got some sound effects. We don't have any music in-game, unfortunately, but the menus do have music. So the first thing we're going to do is actually we're going to deliberately disqualify ourselves, and that's because this is a slow race, and we don't need that many points to win. It's a tournament system, and we're going to get the barest minimum to qualify to win the tournament. If you fail a race, not only do you have to not have to complete the race, but you also get to skip the rest of it, the second race as well. So the way the racing system works in this is each area has 4 races. You have a heat and then a final, and then a second heat and a final. If you disqualify from the heat, you don't race in the final. And normally that's a bad thing because it means you don't get any points. But for us it's a good thing because it means we spend less time driving. And I almost hit that. That was stupidly close. So it's not just about speed. At the end of the race, we will get points based on not only how quickly we beat the race, but also our drifts and how often we go off course. And we want to get enough points to win, to get the most number of tournament points. But we also want to beat it as quickly as possible while scoring enough points. So I'm going to be doing as many drifts as I can. And I'm going to be taking corners nice and wide to maximize those drift points. I am going to be cutting a few corners sometimes, just when it's like we have to be a bit fast, because sometimes it can be very slow to actually brake and go around a corner without hitting anything. So just turn into it, just bash the cone out of the way. It's fine. We more than make up for it with a longer drift, and it'll give us those points back, and then some. As common with most racing games, we've got 3 laps. Nothing changes in this game from lap to lap. So it's just about doing the same thing 3 times in a row. We do get some interesting engine sounds, which is not something the Spectrum's known for. And probably remain that way. So we're coming up to the final corner of the first actual race I'm doing now. And we cross the line and we see what scores we got. So as you can see, I'm well beyond the target time, but with all of my drift bonuses, I end up with the best score in my heat, and in fact in the second heat as well. So I move on to the final. Now the final race is exactly the same as the heat, but it's reversed. So for the heat, we drive one way around the track, and for the final, we drive the opposite way. In fact, even the flag person comes from the opposite side. Or is it the same side? Depending on how you look at it, I don't know. But anyway, we're going to drive around the track again. Again, we're going to drift as much as possible. It's the name of the game. There aren't actually any shortcuts you can take. So, other than cutting corners, which do give you quite a big penalty, you can't take any shortcuts. There are times when it looks like the track snakes around in an S shape. It looks like you can take a shortcut there. If you do that, you'll be instantly disqualified. The game is very strict and wants you to follow the path it's given. This isn't a free roam game. One thing I haven't talked about is the cars. So initially you start off with a fairly slow car, and you earn money by winning races, and you raise money, you spend it to fix your car and to buy better cars. This is New Game Plus, so we have actually already done all of that several times over. We have the best car in the game. We've got more than enough money to repair it. We don't care about any of that. We're just picking the fastest car and we're going with it. From a routing perspective, the new game run is a bit more interesting. But, you know, we're going for speed here. It also means we can skip a lot of races, because we don't need the money. So again, cross the line. No, we're not across the line. That's not the final turn. I'm getting my tracks confused. We've still got half the track to go. Break. That was not a good corner, but it's fine. Right, now we're across the line. So that's the first area done. Again, we should have a high drift score, high drift bonus. Should make up for being a little bit slow. There we go. Clearly the winner. So that's our 20 tournament points. We are at the top first place of the tournament. It's nice. We we go to the second area, which is France. I actually forget what the first area is. I wasn't paying attention. But in France, we do what's they say when in Rome, do what the Romans do. So in France, we're going to immediately surrender and just drive off the course and disqualify ourselves. That's because France is another long track. We're going to just get rid of all of our need for racing here. We're just going to get out of France as quickly as possible. Go on to the second track.
5 seconds.
Once again, straight out of there. So, oh no, we didn't pick up any points this time around. We didn't reach the final. We're gonna skip through all of this, and we are now 5th. I need to repair my car. I've actually accidentally pressed go unrepaired, but it doesn't matter. Because what we're going to do, we're now in Czechia. I don't know how you pronounce that. Formerly Czech Republic. And we're going to do exactly the same thing again, because these races are even longer than the France races.
5 seconds.
And again, we don't need the points here either. Ideally, you need to win about 5 pairs of races, so 5 heats, 5 finals. And that's usually enough. So I picked the 5 shortest ones, and I'm skipping the other 7. So again, I'm going to mash through here. Unfortunately, you can't just fail to drive up to the line. That bit's automatic. Then as soon as the flag goes, I'm going to do some more donuts. Oh no, I've been disqualified again. Okay, we're about all the way at the bottom. We're going to do diagnostics on a car, and we're going to repair it. We've got plenty of money to repair it, so like, look at us, we've got £100,000 in cash. That's more than enough. So we've arrived in Russia. We are actually going to do the races in Russia. They are still quite long, but they're also quite easy. I think one of the races in France is actually shorter, but it's also very hard to actually get first place. You have to go out of your way and do a lot of drifting. It kind of ends up being slower in the long run. It's weird, but in order to actually get first place, you have to do a lot of extra stuff. So we're not going to bother with that. We're just going to drift our way around Russia instead. That was too close to that. So like the walls here, if you hit one, you will actually, again, it's not disqualify yourself, but you won't be able to finish the race because you'll break the car, and you'll have to repair the car. But luckily, the collision is really lenient, and only the very center of your car is actually a collision box for those big areas, these big buildings. So you can actually drive a lot closer to them than you think, but it's still quite scary. It's like I can looks like I can clip the corner there. That's no problem. That's not even close. Is there anything else I could explain about this? I guess the way the drifting scores themselves work. So you can see the actual score I get for each drift at the top. That number is added to my drift score. But you'll also see when I do a long drift, I'll get things like awesome drift, insane drift as pop up as messages. And they go towards the drift bonus. And the more of those you get, the higher a score you get, and the better the message, the higher score you get as well. I don't know exactly what the scoring behind them is, but basically you just want as many of those as possible. Like effectively, every drift you get, which is more than a score of 30, is worth double the score. So if you can get above 30, it's usually a good thing. I can't actually get above 30 very often because I'm not very good at this game. I'm the only one who wants to run it. So. If you're interested in what inputs I'm putting in, you can actually see them at the bottom right. They come built into the game. You can take a look at that for my next race. So I got 1,252 points there. It's an easy win. I probably overdid it, I think. Also, yes, my driver's name is Quack Quack.
5 seconds. Go.
Okay, so again, this is the same track, but this time in reverse. We're going to slide around as much as we can. There really isn't much to say about this. I wanted to include this game in the marathon because Spectrum games are often racing games are often overlooked on the Spectrum, but it's actually one of the best 8-bit platforms for it. So the Commodore 64 specialized in side-scrolling sprites. It had hardware support for scrolling, but the general makeup of it meant that it couldn't really do anything that required lots of software manipulation like this does. So the 3D style games tended to be much more at home on the Spectrum, and even though like the color system is not typically like you wouldn't think it's really very good for a 3D game, and it's not, which is why they're almost entirely in monochrome. But the actual manipulation of the objects in space themselves was actually one of the Spectrum's stronger points, and lots of racing games for 8-bit computers were really good on the Spectrum. For example, Chase HQ, the Spectrum port is one of the best for all of the 8-bit computers. It's, in fact, one of the best games on the Spectrum. We're on to the final lap now. I hope you're enjoying seeing the side of this car, because you're going to see a lot more of it. Okay, two people there failed to even finish the race, which was interesting. I went far above and beyond what I needed to.
5 seconds.
So this race is a fun one, because you'll notice I don't stick to the track very much. If you just play this level casually, you are almost guaranteed to actually, as long as you finish the track, you will probably get first place. You can take a lot of liberties with it, and I will show you exactly how in just a second. So let's go around the back of here. There's one particular area coming up. I think it's this track, anyway, I hope so. There's a zigzag. I'm now worried it's not this track. It's not this track. I've built it up for nothing. It's not this track. It's the UK first track I'm thinking of then. Sorry to disappoint everyone. This is still a fun track, but it's not the one I was thinking of. This is why you should practice more before marathons. I'm gonna hit that because it doesn't matter. This is actually the this is the track I was talking about when I was talking about shortcuts. So there are a few parts here where it looks like you can take a shorter route by skipping behind some of the containers where the track moves forward and back. But you actually can't. It will prevent you from doing that. So like there, if I go the other side of that container, or the other side of that container, I will just be instantly disqualified. In fact, one of them I think doesn't disqualify you, but it does make the lap not count. Which is even worse, because then you've got to drive for a full lap before you realise anything's wrong. You're almost guaranteed to not win. So yeah, this is the longest track we actually race around. As I said, one of the ones in France is actually shorter than this, but it's harder to win. This one's an easy win. We just have to finish the race, and we've basically won. I'm going to adjust my seating position one. So yeah, as you can see, we didn't do anything special. We just drove around the track, and we're a clear winner. And we're going to do the same for the final, which is the same track but in reverse. One thing this game does do that's particularly different to other Spectrum racing games is that each area has its own colour scheme. So in Russia we've got blue ground and a white sky alongside the backdrop. I don't know if there's any Russian landmarks in the background. I'm not that familiar with Russia. But I would assume there are. Also, I'm not focusing that much on the background. So let's go this side. This is the part I hate because it's always looks like you can go faster than you can here. But you can't, obviously. You have to slow right down to get through that slalom. So again, we go round. Again, it looks like I'm getting very close to those buildings, but only the centre of the car can collide with buildings. So you can get pretty much as close as you like to them. As long as you don't actually hit them with the centre of your car, you're good to go. I shouldn't be giving away this trick, should I? I should be deliberately going really close and going, ooh, scary. Like that. Ooh, scary. I'm hoping I'm making this game look easy, because I have to say that the first time I played it, it took me about 4 hours to actually finish a race. It's not easy. It's not an easy to learn, hard to master game. It's a hard to learn, easy to master game. But it's a great deal of fun. And it is fun just drifting around everywhere. that was not a good corner. I have messed that corner up, and that's cost me quite a few seconds. It's fine. Okay, so that is the end of Russia. And we're well in the lead. No problems, and we're winning the tournament now, just with Russia. Because we got a an absolute washout win there. So we move on to Japan. And have you guessed what we're going to do in Japan?
5 seconds.
That's right, donuts. We're not sticking around Japan either. It actually takes a while to disqualify yourself here. Again, because it's a long track, and it's actually quite difficult to win this one as well. And we're going to do the same for the second track.
5 seconds.
Disqualified. No problem. This should make us lose our lead, I think. We'll check. Yep, we're now third. That's fine. We're going to go into the final area. We need to be at the top of the leaderboard at the end of this area. Luckily, it's the UK, and I'm pretty familiar with that place. So I think this is the track I was talking about, where it's fairly fun, it's fairly windy, and we don't really stick to the track too much. You might see me take a few straight line areas where I shouldn't really, particularly in that opening section. So we're going to go around here. You can tell it's England because the ground is green and the sky is grey. They're the two defining aspects of Britain. We come around here. We're going to just slightly clip that corner. It's fine. We're going to go around. And we can just, because these corners are nice and wide, we can just drift around the entire thing. Don't need to slow down too much. Gonna take this corner wide, see if we can get a nice long drift in there. I kind of missed the entry there, that's fine. Onto the final lap. So the UK tracks are nice and short. That's the main reason we do the UK tracks. It's not any British bias. Although it helps. It's just because the tracks are really short and quick, especially the second track of the two. Let's get around here. Nice long drift through here. And there we go. Let's see how well we stack up. 1,500 points. How well did everyone else do? Not even close. We're clearly in a league of our own here. So again, finals, which means the same track in reverse. As it turns out, this track is actually identical, going forwards and backwards. The only difference is the left and right turn is swapped. Which I know it sounds obvious, but what I mean is that the corners themselves are the same. So the narrow parts are like symmetrically distributed between the start and the end. So going backwards on this track really doesn't mean very much. Fine. This corner like that. There we go. Yeah, a lot of games don't use reverse tracks. You'll often see games like Mario Kart. They'll have a mirror mode, which doesn't very much change the tracks in general, because they're just turn left when you would have turned right. A lot of tracks are actually significantly changed when you drive backwards around them. This track is not one of them, but other tracks in the game are. Just for the fact that whereas previously you'd have a slow turn followed by a fast turn, going backwards you have a fast turn followed by a slow turn. And that completely changes the way you have to approach the corner to get round it. But unfortunately, a lot of racing games just don't seem to use reverse tracks as much as they use mirror mode. This is a shame because it's of the two, reverse tracks is a better way of adding content, I feel. Maybe that's just me. So we're across the line. Again, we're going to find that we've absolutely obliterated the competition. And then we're going to get to the absolute hardest track in the game. This is really abandoned uranium workings level of difficulty. You might have just noticed it there. This is the most complicated track, and I'll talk you through it because it's very difficult to understand. So what we do, so we turn left, and then we turn left, then we turn left, then we turn left, and then for the second lap, you get the idea. It's a circle. The final track in this game is a circle, so we're just going to drift around as much of it as possible. Of course, because it's such a small circle, it is also the fastest and shortest track in the game. So we get round it. And we're just going to take a massive shortcut there because it doesn't matter. We're going to have so much time bonus. It's just fine. And then finally, for the final, we of course do the same track but backwards. I'll let you figure out what the turns are for that one. That time is going to come up in about a minute once we've crossed the line for the third and final time on this track. Not counting this one. And then we're going to see if we've actually won the tournament. Because there is every chance that we haven't actually won the tournament, but I don't think so. I think we've nailed it. There's one lap. Keep drifting round. Take a big shortcut here because why not? 2 laps, and time's coming up. I'm actually just going to hold down the buttons here. Time's coming up in 3, 2, 1, time. So let's see, did we win? We won that race, and we've won the tournament. There we go, 140 points. We actually didn't need the last race at all. And we're world champion. So that's the game. Thanks for watching. I'm a bit hesitant to say what we're actually going to see next because it changed last time, but I'm hoping it will, in fact, be Dizzy. So stick around and enjoy some more Spectrum games.
3.
Hello there, folks. Welcome back.
Four, 3.
Hello there, folks. Welcome back to the UKSG Select Spectrum Marathon. I'm going to be running Dizzy Prince of the Yoke Folk now for you. I have Digital Duck back again.
Hello again.
Hello again. And we're going to get started straight into this. I'm going to do the countdown. So hopefully we're ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Right, Duck, if you'd like to explain about this game for us, please.
Yeah, so this is Dizzy 6. We seem to be doing them in reverse order. We had 7 earlier. So we're down to 6 this time. It was originally released as a compilation-only game, and then later as its own title because it was really popular. It features Dizzy trying to save Daisy, as so many of these games do. She's being put in. Is she under a spell?
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
And she's locked in a tower, and Dizzy needs to come and give her the kiss of life to bring her back to life.
Yeah, This is probably one of my favourite games in the series. It's between this and Magic Land Dizzy, which is number 4, which you'll see tomorrow, I think. But this is one of my favourites, purely because of the music. This is one of the easiest and smallest Dizzy games. We'll see the smallest one later on. But this is a fun little game, this. This was also relatively easy as Dizzy games go. The series does have a reputation of being pretty hard in general, and this is one of the easier, if not the easiest title, apart from, again, the game we'll see later. And I do like this game. This has always been a favourite of mine as a child, and it was one of the 2 Dizzy games that I finished as a child. Technically 3, but it was one of the few that I finished as a child. So yeah, it's a fun little game. You'll see a little bit of vandalism here. Dizzy's ripping up the railings. Would you like to talk about the vandalism a little bit, Duck? Because it is something we'll see in other games.
Yeah, so we briefly mentioned it in the Crystal Kingdom Dizzy run. But this is very much a traditional Dizzy game, both in physics and in the fact that you have to collect a certain number of items to beat the game. In this one it's cherries, and they tend to be hidden behind railings. I think this game's probably the worst for hiding them. Like basically every single cherry is hidden here. You have to rip everything up. You have to basically, if you're playing this game casually, you will not find everything. You will need a guide. It's just you have to rip everything up and try to find where everything is.
Yeah, this one's always been a bit funny with the sort of ripping stuff up. It's probably the worst example of that in the series in terms of hiding things. There was only 20 cherries, and a good 5 or 6 of them at least are hidden. Maybe even more than that. I'm not quite actually sure.
I was going to say about 5 or 6 of them aren't hidden.
Right, fair enough. Yeah. Right. Let's see. We've got a little sort of semi-skip here. We've got what we call a dialogue skip here, if I get it right. That should be it there. That actually skips a little bit of dialogue there. Normally you'd have to mash through some dialogue when you speak to St. Peter, but what I was able to do there was positioning myself correctly. I was able to skip the dialogue. There's another one of these coming up later on that I might be able to get as well, but we'll see. There's quite a lot of little skips in this game. Shout outs to Two Spaces, who discovered quite a lot of the skips and tech in this game. And I believe, not sure, did have the world record in this game. I don't know if they still do. I think Faddy might have it. But I had world record in this at one stage. But this is, as I said, this is one of the smaller Dizzy games, and it's fun. It's a fun little game. The speedrun is relatively well optimised. And it's nice. It's a fun little game. The music's great. If you've never played these games before and you fancy sort of playing it casually, then this is a really good starting point. I wouldn't recommend starting with the early ones.
I would definitely agree. If you're going to start playing Dizzy, this is the one to start with. It's got the traditional gameplay. It's very much exactly the same as Dizzy 4, for example, as a Magic Land Dizzy. It's got exactly the same physics, exactly the same health mechanics, and it's one of the shortest and one of the easiest. So it's a very good way of actually getting into the series.
And I mean also the only thing that would cause the major things that will cause a casual player issues on this one is sort of the water jumps and stuff, and obviously finding some of the cherries. The actual puzzles and that once you play the game, it's very straightforward. It's very sort of self-explanatory almost. The hidden items are probably some of the hardest bits. But like I say, I just love this game. It's always been one of my favourites, and that's not good. That's really not good, but hey, we will live. Well, we won't, but this has also got the same energy mechanic and life mechanic as I was explaining in Crystal Kingdom Dizzy. Oh, no, that's not quite close enough for that. There you go, there's the dialogue skip there. Normally you'd have to speak to him to get a whole bit of dialogue about how he wants his boat sped up, but I was able to position myself in a certain way to skip the first part of that dialogue. This game does have quite a few of these dialogue skips in it, so and they don't save a massive amount of time, a second or two, but every second counts, as they say. So right, would you like to explain this next little bit, Duck?
Well, I think we're now about to go and cut down the fawns outside the drawbridge, and we're going to meet our first new character in the game, I guess, if Pogi doesn't count. It's Evil Dizzy.
Yep.
And Evil Dizzy is as you can probably guess, is an evil version of Dizzy. That's a shocker. But he will actually move exactly the same as Dizzy does, but on the opposite level to wherever Dizzy is, in this room in particular, in Double Trouble. And if you try to grab the wrench, the spanner, Evil Dizzy will also try to grab what he is next to, and it happens to be a button which opens up the bridge. Unfortunately, you can't do the same to Evil Dizzy because the button only works for Evil Dizzy. I guess he's stronger.
Yeah. Alright, a bit of wanton vandalism here. This was the one. This is your favourite cherry, I think, Duck. That's the one that's the hardest to find.
Yeah, the roof tile one is the one I could not find when I played through this casually. It's the most evilly hidden one, because it doesn't even look like you can grab any of those roof tiles.
Okay, so we're making our way back here. As you can see, this is a very traditional, as we've said, very traditional Dizzy game, and there's a lot of backtracking in this one. I've missed the boat. That's a bit of a pain. Never mind. But no, it's a bit of a traditional Dizzy game. There's lots of backtracking involved in this. But so what we've done now is we're going back with the tweezers now to sort the poor old lion out, because there's a lion over here, and this poor lion has been pushed into the bushes by the troll that we saw earlier on that we scared off using bogey. And what we can do, if I'm doing this right, that's probably not close enough. There we go, perfect. That was another dialogue skip there. So I'm getting quite good on those dialogue skips. I've not done them as quick as I could have done, but I'm getting them. So now I need to make sure I'm not going to take too much damage from that bat again. That's not so good. Now the cherries have a second effect here. If you'd like to mention that, Doc.
Yeah, so in most games that have this health system, when you've got collectibles, each one will actually give you a portion of your health back. And because of that, you can strategically choose when to pick them up. I don't think we do very much of that in Prince of the Yoke Folk because it's quite short. But it's something you can do if you really feel like it.
Yeah.
It's more useful in games like Magic Land, where you do have a lot of health management to do.
Yeah, you'll be seeing it when I do Magic Land, which I think is tomorrow. You'll be seeing a lot of that in Magic Land. I specifically leave a lot of the diamonds for picking up later on in Magic Land. Oh dear, that's not ideal. It's a wee bit of a thingy there. Right, okay, we're about to deal with Evil Dizzy, so I'll let Duck explain how we're doing that once I'm going to do it.
Yeah, so basically, Evil Dizzy has an arch nemesis, and it's a single fawn. He's very, very allergic to fawns, and one tiny prick will send him
There we go.
to well, I don't know where he goes. He just disappears.
Yep, pricked, and he's gone. And that now allows us to pick up this this spanner here, which is very handy because we need that, and that cherry will help as well because that helps my life. And we're back along again. So we're actually coming up on the last sort of section of the game here, believe it or not. This is, as we've said before, one of the smallest games, and as I say, for a casual player, I loved this game. I was working it out the other day. I was actually 13 when this game came out, but I really enjoyed this game. This was my favourite, one of my favourites in the series. Of the games in the series, I played this, Magic Land, and Quick Stacks the most. And of course, they're all games that I now speedrun. Because it's always good to speedrun games you enjoy. I mean, I have played most of the other games in the series, but I'd never finished Fantasy World Dizzy, which is Dizzy 3. I never actually finished that before I started speedrunning it. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And that game's got some that's got some quite good glitches and stuff. One of the things about the Dizzy games that I've found is there isn't actually a huge amount of glitches in them. There's the odd one or two, but there's nothing like massive. Now here is another dialogue skip. I hope that's close enough. There you go, perfect, there we go. That skips quite a big bit of dialogue actually, because otherwise he gives you a flying carpet. And that flying carpet has something in keeping with this loaf of bread that we're just about to see. Would you like to speak about those, Duck? Explain about those?
Yeah, so the flying carpet is an item that you use to get over the spikes to save Daisy, but not in this game. It's actually only in Fantasy World Dizzy. In this game, it's completely useless. Much like the loaf of bread, which again is an item that's used in Fantasy World Dizzy, but not here. So a few items here that I think they're references to older games as much as they are just there to try and confuse you and make you make you think, oh, what's this used for? And it's not used at all.
Yeah. Now then, we're going to do a bit of gardening here. I'm going to rip up some grass. There's a whole load of grass. There's a lot of cherries in this section of the game, which is why I wasn't too worried about my health, because I pick up like 4 cherries in this area. So I will be pretty much sorted. Oh dear, I've made a screw up there. Not quite sure.
You need to drop something.
Yeah, I don't know how I managed that. There we go, that'll do. Right, okay. And we're gonna just head up. So this is the final section. Then what we have to do now is we've got the flag. We cheered the princess up. We're giving her a joke book, and we are now going to go up here. We're going to fly the flag. We're going to speak to the bugler and the king. We're going to be made a prince, and then we're going to go and rescue Daisy. Now we did talk about the cherries earlier on, but could you explain why the cherries are needed, please, Doc?
Yeah, so basically, like I think before the game's events, the reason Daisy's out on her own is because she's gathering cherries to make Grand Dizzy a pie. And obviously she hasn't been able to collect them because she's been asleep in a tower. So we've got to go ahead and do it for her, apparently.
Yeah, and how, as we said before, how some of these cherries get to where they are, it's a rather strange mystery. But anyway, you'll notice that we're nearly done now on cherries. So there's only 20 in this game. Again, that reflects the size of the game. In most of the other titles that have collectibles, they're normally 30. Magic Land being the most obvious one.
Yeah, well, in Treasure Island, Fantasy World, and Magic Land, it's 30 for all of them.
Yeah.
They're all 30.
So we have one little cherry left, which is right in the same room as Daisy is holed up in. One thing I like about these games is the dialogue. I mentioned this before when I ran this game the last time, but one of the sort of sarky dialogue is quite funny if you try speaking to people. For example, my favourite piece of dialogue in this is when you try and kiss Daisy, because you can unlock the door to Daisy and get to her without being a prince. And basically, if you try kissing Daisy without being a prince, you get dialogue basically saying that you keep kissing Daisy and your lips get tired. Because she won't wake up if you're not a prince. Which is quite, I always found mildly amusing. So, yeah. So, just before we finish the run then, Duck, what's your thoughts on this game then, in terms of the overall series? What do you think about this one?
It's definitely one of the better ones. As I say, it's a good one to start with. I like Fantasy World and Magic Land, I think, are both better. But this is definitely... It's definitely in the same league. It's the only issue I have with this one is it's a bit short, but I suppose that's good if you're new getting into the series.
Yeah, I mean, I go back and forth as to whether this is my favourite or Magic Land is my favourite. Magic Land has got more. Magic Land probably is better just because it's got the Yoke Folk in it, and it's also got it's also a bit longer. But the music is really good, as it is in Magic Land. So
yeah, I think Magic Land is the best music, I think.
I like both the games. I mean, these two are my favourite games in the series. So. Right, okay, we are nearly there. Coming up for time. Time is when we see the bird, so I'll shout it out. There's the last cherry. We're now going to take the key and unlock the door. We're going to give you a good old smooch here. There you go, she's woken up. You then need to speak to her again to get the 20 cherries sorted. And that's time. Okay. That was Dizzy Prince of the Yoke Folk. Thank you very much indeed. I think we're going to move swiftly on just now because we are running a wee bit behind. So coming up next, I believe, is going to be Dizzy 3.5. So I'll be back very... Treasure Island Dizzy. Sorry, Duck. Duck will be doing Treasure Island Dizzy in a second, which is Dizzy 2. So we're still going backwards. So we'll be back very shortly. Stay with us, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. Cheers.
And it's going 5, 4.
Hello again. I'm Digital Duck, and this is Treasure Island Dizzy, which is Dizzy 2. I'm joined by Tiny Tim,
Hello, folks.
and we're going to take you through Dizzy 2 as quickly as we can. And we're just going to start in 3, 2, 1. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about how this game is not like the game we just saw. The only real difference, apart from the fact that we have one-hit deaths, and by deaths I mean actual deaths, any single hit will completely end the run. So look forward to that. But the main issue is the inventory here. So we don't have a pop-up that comes up whenever we pick up something or drop it. We in fact have to cycle through the 3 slots at the top. We will pick up something and it will be pushed into the bottom, and anything that's at the top will be dropped. So a lot of this game is inventory management. We're going to go through here and we're just going to collect a few coins first of all. If we walk across that platform there, we die because the cage drops on us, and that's an instant game over, like everything in this game. So we're going to kick the stone, and this will unlock a path in a little while. This rubber snorkel is very important. Tim, do you want to explain the snorkel?
Yes, surely. Yep. The snorkel, I will first of all point out that, as you see, there was a bit of tree there, and a railing that we've been vandalising. So this was the first instance of vandalising, I believe,
Yeah.
in the series. The snorkel is very important because without the snorkel, we can't go underwater. And it's very interesting to do with the snorkel because the snorkel is the reason for the lack of lives in this game.
Yes, it is.
Because unfortunately, what happened in development was it was possible to basically soft lock the game by dropping the snorkel. And the way that they got around that was actually dying, I think. I couldn't quite remember exactly what it was. But basically the way they got around it is to remove the lives. Thus making the game an awful lot more difficult.
Yeah, so in we were talking before about in Crystal Kingdom how you can drop the snorkel and soft lock yourself as well. And they didn't really do very much about it there. But in this game, they decided they don't want any soft locks. They would rather you just have an impossible time surviving. So we have 1 life, we have 1 hit. The Rebel Snorkel here is, at the moment, it's the first item to drop, and I'm going underwater, so I don't want that. I actually want to be able to do things underwater. Because if I'd left it as it was, and I'd gone underwater and pressed the inventory button at any time, I would have dropped the snorkel, and then instantly drowned, because I'm no longer holding the snorkel, and that would have been the end. So it's very, very important that you manage the inventory here. And there's a lot of death, and this is probably the most stupid idea I've had for a game to run in a marathon.
Yeah, I mean, I will be honest, this game is probably the hardest in the series. I mean, you could definitely debate that, but because of the single life, single hit, I mean, again, we're picking up a skull there to get some coins. You'll notice that some of the coins are very well hidden in this game as well. But yeah, I would probably, it could be argued, but I would say that this is one of the hardest ones just purely because of the lack of lives. It is a bit of an issue.
Yep, so you just saw me come out of the water to just shuffle my inventory around again, because I want to drop the spade next. But the spade was at the bottom of the inventory, and if I'd left it where it was, again I would have dropped the snorkel first and died. So I need to make sure the spade is the next item I use. So I shuffle it around on land, and then I use the spade here so I can get up to this area. And oh, I got stuck between the screens there for a second.
scores.
Okay.
So, transition in 5, 4.
Okay. I hope we're back. Sorry for the tech issues there. I've actually physically paused the game here, so we're going to continue the timer, and hopefully things it'll be like it never happened. Just imagine you fell asleep for a couple of minutes and then woke up and yeah. Anyway, let's start again in 3, 2, 1, go. So I've actually forgotten what I was doing. Sticks of dynamite. That's right. So we picked up the sticks of dynamite from under the thing. We're going to get a coin from the window here. I'm actually still holding the window. I didn't want to be. And we're going to take it all the way to the left-hand side. We might pick up a couple of coins on the way, of course, because they're here. We also need the plunger up there to activate the dynamite. We need to go and get it. It's like this. We're going to drop the window while we're there. And we're going to use the dynamite to blow up some rocks that are in our way. And we need those to get another item. Because of course this is Dizzy, it's all about picking up an item, using it somewhere else to pick up another item, and so on. I haven't talked about the overall goal of this game yet. Basically, we're stuck on a treasure island and we have to escape. And there's a shopkeeper. It's his first appearance in the game, and in the series. I like to think it's the same shopkeeper across the whole series. I don't know if that's true or not, but it makes me feel like it's some sort of continuity. But basically, he's happy to sell the boat to us and the various components we need to get it working. But he wants some very expensive stuff in return. So we've got a bag of gold coins here. This is one of the things he wants. And he's going to try and fleece us for all we've got.
Yep, there's making a comment. John's making a comment in chat about the redness of this game, and it is very red.
Yeah, I would say that's quite common for the Dizzy games, though. They do tend to use red as the main color. Like, it's not until I mean, even Spellbound was red, so I guess it's not until Crystal Kingdom that they started to shy away from using red for everything and use more colors. But like the idea is that they're usually in like wooded areas. I need to pick up all of these coins. It's constantly cycling the inventory here. But yeah, they're usually in wooded areas, so red is the closest the spectrum has to a brown. So all of the trees tend to be red. Let's see if we can get our inventory sorted here. So I'm going to take a bag of gold coins across. And we're going to make our way to the shopkeeper here.
Yep, you will notice obviously that the snorkel, the key thing really about this run is the snorkel.
Yeah, so
making sure that you're not going to drop it at any stage.
Yeah, so I actually carry it with me along the whole time. There we go. So that jump on the fish looks scary. It's actually not. I found that out. I used to play it safe on the fish, but actually if you jump early there, it's fine. Again, I need to stop giving this stuff away, don't I? I need to say, oh, that was really scary. I need to play it up. So we've spoken to the shopkeeper, and he's given us a dehydrated boat. The thing about a dehydrated boat is that when you put it in water, which we need to cycle through, here we go, suddenly it becomes a normal boat, because we added water. You're going to pick up a coin from here. You'll notice I'm not picking up all the coins every time. That's my attempt at inventory management. Again, I'm not actually very good at it though. I tend to just try and make sure I'm not holding things I don't need to be. We need the old Holy Bible here. This is going to give us access to the cursed treasure. But I'll explain about that in a bit once we get there, because it's an interesting and very annoying part of the game when it goes wrong. This large golden key, you might think it's for a door, but it's not. It's for this barrel. I don't know why the key opens a barrel, but it does, and it gives us access to a microwave oven, which is part of. I think the scroll in there says it's some pirate's secret stash, and he uses the microwave oven for, I guess, for making food.
Must be a battery-powered microwave.
I'm also surprised that Dizzy is perfectly happy carrying a microwave oven underwater here. I'm not sure I'd be that brave.
Not exactly safe, is it?
So just waiting for that fish to get out of the way. We're actually going to dump the microwave oven up here. That's because, again, we can only carry 3 items. I've missed that jump entirely. Let's try again. So we get up here. The fish are well out of the way. And I'm just going to dump it here. We don't need the microwave oven. We'll give it to the shopkeeper at the end of the game. For now, we need to free up our inventory. We want to take the Holy Bible and the snorkel with us. We need the snorkel to survive underwater, and the Holy Bible we need for the final item. Because the microwave oven we give to the shopkeeper. We've got the small video camera, which we've already got on the stores here, waiting to be given to the shopkeeper. The last and most important one is the cursed treasure. Basically, I hate this one. It's underwater. Here. Let me shuffle my thing around. There we go. So I need to make sure when I pick up this coin that I don't do exactly what I just did and accidentally cycle the inventory again. So now I can't pick up the cursed treasure, because if I pick it up, I will drop the Holy Bible, and then that will kill me, because I'm holding the cursed treasure and not the Bible. If I try to pick up the Bible again, I will drop the snorkel and die because I'm underwater. So I need to come back up here. I need to cycle through the inventory again, so I've got room to pick up the treasure. I'll pick it up here, and I will be safe now as long as I can avoid pressing the button while underwater. Come up here, jump out, and once we jump out and we walk past this grave here, now I can drop the Bible. Everything's safe again now. The cursed treasure will electrocute you if you try to escape the room while holding it, but the Bible prevents the curse from happening. So now we're safe. We've got the cursed treasure. We still need the snorkel, but we need to pick up this camera instead. I'm going to shuffle the items around again. I'm doing a really bad job at it. Let's do that one. Let's do that one. There we go. Right. So the main thing I want is a rubber snorkel at the bottom. And that's because I've got some more coins to pick up underwater. And if I have the snorkel at the top and I pick up a coin and I accidentally hold the button down for too long, it will cycle the items and I will drop the snorkel and die.
Yep, bug. As I said earlier, I do think this is probably the most unforgiving of the games in the series. Even a casual play, like I say, I never get anywhere near finishing this. I've still never finished it, because I don't actually speedrun this game at the moment. I've still never finished this game properly, because it is a very challenging one, I would say.
Yep, so I've dropped the snorkel now, I don't need it anymore, and I've traded it for the microwave oven. So now we're holding the last 3 items we need to give to the shopkeeper. So we're going to give him the microwave oven, and he's going to give us a motor. Then we give him the camera, and he gives us a gallon of petrol. Then we give him the cursed treasure, and he gives us an ignition key. And we're going to accidentally drop it and have to cycle through all our items again. We're going to go give all of these, put them in the boat, because they're all useful. Give the boat a motor, fill it with petrol, give it an ignition key, it sends off, and time is coming up once we pick up this last coin and speak to this guy. And that's time. He says 30 gold coins, impressive. I suppose you'd like to continue now? Well, I'm sorry, you can't. This is the edge of this fantasy world. And if I press enter again, what happens is, ready? You're not gonna believe this.
Okay, let's go.
You're not gonna believe this. The game crashes, and we actually go back to the startup screen where
Oh
we can.
wow,
where we
that's
can-
amazing! Your game crashes to end. That's brilliant.
Yep, and we can do programming like we can normally with the Spectrum. We're going to type in more dizzy next, and we're going to do a standard 20 go to 10. And if I run this, you're going to get lots of nice colours. There you go. That's how I'm going to end this. So thanks for watching. I actually beat Treasure Island Dizzy on a marathon run, which was a big surprise. And yeah, more Dizzy next. Dizzy 3.5.
Indeed. Yep. We've got a race coming up just now. What's going to happen, just to explain very quickly before we start the actual thing, is that I'm going to be doing an intro for the game and going through it a little bit to show our runners. And then our runners are going to take over and they're going to do a bit of practice. And then we're going to do a best of 3 race. Okay, folks? So stay with us and thank
Hello there, folks. Welcome back. You are watching the UKSG ZX Spectrum Marathon. This is the finale of day one now. I am going to be doing a little bit here, a little tutorial. We have two fantastic runners here who have never run this game before. We have the wonderful Someone and Sparks F1. Say hello, folks.
Hello. Hi. This is gonna be fun.
It's going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to it. So just a quick heads up for everybody watching how this is going to work. I'm about to run Dizzy 3.5. There you go, 2 spaces. And I'm going to play the game normally. Quotes, normally. Then I'm going to speedrun it. And I'll get the runners to have a little look at it because they're going to watch it first. Then I'm going to go through a couple of little tech things. Nothing huge, just little positioning things. Then we're going to switch over. And the runners are going to get 2 or 3 runs to just practice it themselves. And then we're going to have a race and we're going to make it a best of 3. Because as you'll see, this run is a little on the short side. So we're not going to do any timing at the moment. We're just going to show you how this works. So this is Dizzy 3.5 then. It was a bonus special game released for Clash magazine, which was the ZX Spectrum magazine back in the 1980s. And I'm just going to play the game casually here very quickly for you first time round. So hopefully, this is the first time that Someone and Sparks have seen this. So this is the game. Basically, it's very much like the previous Dizzy games that we've seen. It's the same engine as Magic Land and Prince of the Yoke Folk. So it's very, very similar. And it's a very small game. So what happens is you run up here and you get, "Help, it's me, Danny. What are you doing up here? I put on these funny boots. They made me float up. Danny, where is everybody? The evil wizard Zax is back. He's kidnapped them all and taken them to his magic kingdom. Gosh, I must find some way to get there and rescue them all. Dizzy, why not start by finding a way to pull me down? Help!" And that is almost, in fact, that is the only dialogue in this game. Well, there's a little bit of dialogue with Danny afterwards, but that's about it. So, we've got...
Tim, do you mind if I say something?
Go for it.
Yeah, my nephew's name is Danny. Can I leave him there?
You're welcome to, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, we won't be able to finish the game if you don't pull him down, but yeah. I can understand that. Right, so the first thing we have to do is go over here, and this is a starting handle. We're going to pick this starting handle up. Now, this is actually quite... When you first play this game, you don't actually know what you're supposed to do, because you have to actually jump off the edge of this platform here. Because you have to get to this rope here. That's a long rope. And you must get that item. All the items in this game, there's only about 4 of them, are needed. And what you do is you go under this tree here, and we are going to leave Danny. We're not going to leave Danny hanging. We're going to bring him down. So you throw the rope and pull Danny down. Thanks, Dizzy. Here, you take the boots. Are they safe? Of course. You're much heavier than I am. Not sure that was a compliment. And there's Danny. So we're going to pick up the boots. Okay, so Danny's down to ground level. You can speak to him. You can't speak to him again, actually. I always thought you could, but no, that's it. He's done his bit. So that is his only appearance in the series, by the way. It's a one and done for Danny. That's him sorted. And now, this is the tricky bit, because you can just walk off here and you'll end up in the water. So you do have to just jump. And you can't get across here without the boots. And then you're across here. And I'm going to drop... I'm going to do this bit. I'll go over this when I do the speed run. But I'm doing this in a specific position. And you'll pick up the short rope. And you've got a long rope, a short rope, and the boots. And we're going to click on the long rope in the inventory. And what that does is it ties the 2 ropes together. And then what you've got to do is you've got to pick up the handle, because you can only carry 3 items at a time. We're then going to make it down to Grand Dizzy's machine here. And the problem is this machine doesn't have any sort of gears or anything. So you've got to wind the rope around the complex cogwheels to get it sorted. And then you have to start the engine 3 times. Machine coughs, doesn't start. Again. And the 3rd time, machine finally catches and starts to go. And you'll notice that little colour thing on the right hand side, and you jump in there, and that is time. And that is the run. Well done, you made it to Magic Land.
Alright, I have several questions.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so first of all, how do you use items?
Yes.
It's, yeah, bit of a different menuing system than modern games, so I figured it might be interesting to ask.
Yep. Depending on how you've got it set up, on the default settings, you use Z and X to go left and right. You use spacebar to jump, and you use return or enter to open the menu and to interact with your items. Okay. So what I'm going to do just now, is there any more questions at the moment? Because I'm about to do another run here.
I'd just like you to show how you exactly get Danny down, because I didn't really catch that, like how you do it from the menu.
Of course, I'll do it again. I'll show you. I'll just do one through quickly and show you then, okay? So this is just this is a quick one now. So from the start, you hold right, and you're up, and straight up again. You mash through the dialogue. That dialogue will automatically trigger when you reach that point. Then you need to move forward onto that next step and then jump up. Position yourself right in the middle for that handle and you can jump there. I'll do this again so you can see it. And that puts you directly on that rope. This is the bit you were talking about, someone. This is pulling Danny down. You need to position yourself on the tree like that with the arm just sticking out. And then you just hit the rope and it'll pull him down. Okay. And then what you can do from there is you can immediately hit the inventory again to pick up the boots. Come back over here. Back up. I've moved a bit too far there. And now what you do is the jump here. And then you land right on the edge here. Like that. Just positioned like that. Select the long rope and it ties the two together. Exit the menu and then pick up the handle. Drop down onto the machine. Use the rope. And then use the handle 3 times. So you can just mash here to get the handle started. And then jump, jump, and time. Like that.
Okay, Tim, I've one very quick question there.
Yep.
Why do you switch left when the rope, when you come over the clouds, why do you switch left?
Yes.
Or selecting?
Yes. The reason for that is to do with the handle, I believe. I'll show you again. I always do it that way. I don't think if you do it the other way, it doesn't work, as far as I'm aware, from what I remember. There is a reason I do it that way. I'll try it and find out. But I'm pretty certain that if you don't move left, you have problems with the inventory.
Right.
I'll show you though. We'll demonstrate it and see what happens. There is a reason for moving left. There's a reason that I always move left anyway. Ideally, you can position it so you don't have to move left if you jump from the right point on that platform there. But if I do it there... No, it actually does work. Okay, so you don't need to move left. There you go. Lesson learned. Even I don't know everything. Right, there you go. So you don't actually have to move left. You can just pick up the rope from there, and it'll do it.
Okie dokie.
Okay, right. Anything else? Would you like me to do it again, or are we quite happy with what we've seen?
I'm happy to go, but if someone wants to ask a few questions, I'm happy to wait more and more minutes. No problem.
I still don't really get how to get the blue rope.
Okay, I'll explain it again then. No problem. Let's just do it a wee bit slowly for you, just to show it through. So the first thing is, let me show you some of these specific things while I'm here. So you can jump up from there. That's probably the easiest way. I mean, you can jump from further back, but the quickest way is to go up onto this one there like that. And now you can immediately jump up there. Look, you don't have to go past. So if I show you that again, go up like that, and then you can immediately jump straight up.
Amazing.
Okay. And then here, you'll notice that Dizzy's on the second step there, and that dialogue will automatically trigger. So you keep moving right until the dialogue triggers, and then you can mash through the dialogue. Now you can't jump from there because you'll hit your head on the platform like that. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to move another step up. So rather than being on the second step, you could be right on the edge of that third step there. Either there or there, it doesn't really make a difference. And then that'll get you up. That's actually slightly quicker because he clips through the platform there, but it doesn't make a huge difference. Now, picking this one up, the best way to do this is to position it with Dizzy's legs directly either side of that gap between the wood. So it's right in the middle of the handle. The reason for that is if you pick it up from there, you can then jump and pick up the rope from there, and you don't have to move anything, and he's standing on the edge there, and you can just pick the rope up. Okay, then you come along back to Danny, and the best position is there, because obviously you don't want to go further right than you have to. So as long as Dizzy's hand is just sticking out the tree, you can pull Danny down from there. And then you can pick up the boots and move back, jump. Oh, no. Yep, so you've got to be a bit careful where you jump there, because if you jump from too far back, you can't get back up on the platform. And then this one here, ideally you can jump from further back and take a little bit of torch damage, and you can still end up on the platform like that. Now then, when you pick up that rope, what happens is you're now holding 2 ropes and the boots, and you've dropped the handle. So all you do, someone, is you go over to the long rope, you press Z to go up in the inventory, and then you press enter, and it ties the 2 ropes together.
I see.
Okay? And then what happens is it returns you to the inventory. You then have to exit out and pick up the handle again. Because it dropped the handle because you had 3 items. You can only hold 3 items at a time. So you then pick the handle up, come back over here, put the knotted rope on the machine, and then handle 3 times. You can just mash here. And then you are ready to go. And as soon as you see the colour, you can just jump and you're in, and that's it there. That's time. Okay.
All right.
Are we good to give it a go? Do you want to give? Because what we'll do is we'll give you 2 or 3 practice goes each for you to have a go at it. Is it you were quite happy, Sparks?
Yeah, I'm happy enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm mostly wondering if you miss the cloud from jumping from the left, how do you get up to the blue rope again? Because I've noticed I'm at the machine now, but I'm too far from the blue rope. Or can you still knot the rope from there?
No, you can get up. Let me show you. I'll do it again. You can actually get up from there. What you have to do, it is a little tricky though, the positioning for it. So I'll just go through that like that for you. So again, like that. And then like that. And down. I'm going to pick Danny up here. There we go. There you go. That's boots. Yeah, because I sometimes have that problem. If you jump too far from the end of the platform, you might go right off. I tend to go about there for the jump, and that puts you right on top of it. But if you end up down the bottom, like this, the way I do it is you go right the way back to the edge of that platform there, and you can jump like that. Is that right? I'll let you see it. A few seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you go right the way to the far side of the machine and jump left and then jump left again, and you can be back up on the blue rope. Is that all right?
All right. Yeah, I get it. All right. I'm ready for a practice run.
This is going to be
Whenever
good.
done.
Okay, right. So what we'll do is, if we're ready to go, we'll get Tech to transition over to the other screen now. So what's going to happen is we'll get our runners on here. And just do a couple of little practices, folks, just for a few minutes, and then let us know when if you've got any questions, just ask, and I can go through anything, and we'll just give you a chance to practice it. And when you think you're ready, we'll race. Okay.
Right. Just tell me
I
when
look
I'm
forward to
on.
it.
So. Right. Just tell me when
I
I'm
look
on,
forward to
so
it.
I'll get started.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, here we go. We've got Sparks on the left and someone on the right. Okay, so we're not going to actually race just yet. So the first thing we want to do is just have a little go and see how you get on. And maybe you've been having a go already, but have a little go.
All I done was just check the controls earlier
Yeah, no worries.
when I had the file and just which does which. But I remember some of the controls from when I was testing for the Boulder Dash run tomorrow night.
Yeah. Right,
Have
okay,
to
yeah,
do
feel
some-
free to go, Sparks, and just have
Okey-dokey.
a practice, yeah. I'm just watching on the stream here, just seeing how you're getting on. Yeah. It's looking good. And if anybody wishes to have a go at this, by the way, feel free. It's a very, very nice, easy little run to do. The world record for this, by the way, is held by 2 spaces, and it's 53. I'm sure they'll correct me.
It's just under a minute anyway. So yeah,
I'm just trying to remember the route at the moment.
yeah, no worries. Again, we've got plenty of time, so just practice it until you feel comfortable with it. It'll take a little bit of doing.
The hitbox for placing the handle is a bit iffy.
Shouldn't be. It should work pretty much anywhere along the machine.
I say, what's the best way to mash in this game?
As somebody who's not particularly good at it, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I just tap enter, but there will be a delay. There is actual delay built into the inventory. Every time you close the inventory, there is a sort of half-second delay when you can't actually open the inventory again. So that's kind of a built-in delay. So you are kind of limited to how fast you can do it. Two Spaces is saying the world record is 53 something. So I think that is what I thought it was. Just a couple of little things. The major things that I would watch for are the jump after speaking to Danny, just making sure you're on the right step, the top of the third step, sorry, and the jump across from the handle. Just make sure you're right in the middle of the handle before jumping across. That's the easiest way of doing it.
So one more run.
Question, like when I jump off with the sky boots, I notice I often overshoot, like Dizzy falls off. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why that's happening actually, because I think maybe you can actually notice how you land on that second cloud. You can probably just walk off that cloud without having to jump. I don't know if you want to try that again. And just, by the way, if you hold Q on the keyboard, I think that will come out of the game. It does in the other Dizzy games. Let me test it. Yeah, Q by holding it down puts you back to the title screen. So if you want to stop and restart,
It's the on and off button, I suppose.
No, Q on the keyboard should quit on Spectrum.
Yeah, it'll fire you back. But a big shout outs to Two Spaces who's in the chat. They showed me a lot of the tech and stuff involved with this. And as I say, they do have the world record for this run and put an awful lot of work into it. They've also found some fantastic glitches. We found a brand new glitch in this game yesterday as well.
I noticed after I close the inventory, the button is delayed. Is that right?
Yes, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
I messed that up very bad. I'm after messing that up very, very badly.
Yeah, there was a delay. There was definitely a delay in the inventory. It's sort of built in. It's sort of part of the programming, I presume.
Yes, Dizzy dead. Dizzy just died.
You killed a video game character. How dare you?
He had an excellent life.
Oh no! Right. Okay. So how are we feeling? Are we needing a bit more time on the practice, or are we ready to go for some runs?
I'm still not sure why it overshoots, but
yeah, you're jumping there though. Someone, don't jump. Just keep walking from that first cloud.
Oh, from the cloud you jump on, like you jump from the high platform. You just
land on the cloud and keep going. You should be able to land on the second cloud. Try it again and see. You should be able to manage. Okay. I'd be interested to see if you can do it.
I'm gonna give this one more pop.
Oh.
Yep.
And then I'll be ready for the matches.
Good. Well, and also I just want to have a big shout out to both of you for volunteering to do this, and also a big shout outs to everybody who's appeared tonight as well. It's been an absolute amazing event. I hope everybody's enjoyed it as much as I have. It's been great fun.
It's been great fun tonight. I have to say it really has.
All right, I'm going for my last practice run. After that, I'm also ready to go whenever.
I do also want to state that I don't remember volunteering for this. As I said to Tim earlier. I said, yeah, I'll do a boulder dash run. And then all of a sudden I ended up on a Dizzy run for some bizarre reason. But that's all good.
Well, let's appreciate it.
So this
I'm
is
enjoying it.
this is technically already the second CX Spectrum run Tim has gotten me into. Hey, wait, what? Okay. Yeah, this is
Right, let's-
technically already the second CX Spectrum game Tim has gotten me into. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I would love you to have done mine as someone, but you've got pre-existing knowledge, so it wouldn't be
Yeah,
a fair race.
can't do that. Nah, but maybe one day I'll race you with it. Who knows?
Right, I'm going to watch your cloud jump here. See if
All
we
right,
can...
so here just walk. All right, that worked. Wait, no. I forgot to pick it up.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. So just walk off. Yeah, so you land on the first cloud and then walk across into the second screen, and you should be okay.
Can I just check something quickly? Where does the timer stop in this game?
The timer stops, I believe, what Two Spaces was telling me, as soon as you appear on the final screen, i.e. as soon as you enter the transport and the screen changes to
Transition.
reappend.
Yeah, do
Right.
we have to stop time ourselves, or will it be done?
I'm not quite sure how time is going to be done by the tech side, because I noticed we've only got one timer on stream, but I'm sure we can.
We should pretty much be. I'd say we should pretty much be synced, and let's let the chat have a war as to who started first, and who finished first.
It is when the reattend. Two Spaces just confirmed it's when the reattend. Right, so what we'll do a best of three. And I'll count you in so we can start at the same time.
Yep.
I'll let someone come back to the right. Are we both ready?
Yes, but first,
Just
good
give
luck.
me. Yes, someone. I know we were focused on learning so much, but the very, very best of luck to you. And let's enjoy.
Yeah. Again, a big thank you. Let's show your support, folks, for amazing runners here for volunteering to do this, or not in Sparks' case. Right. Okay. So we're going to count down, and we'll start. So start at the same time, and then it'll finish. I should be able to tell. It might be very close, but we'll see. So 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
There'll be a bit of a stream delay here, so I'll be seeing it when it happens. Right, the timer started. Okay, the timer started a wee bit before the stream, but I'm watching it here, so I can see what's happening. Right. Okay.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Keep going. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, both doing really well. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. It's pretty close.
Okay, like that. Do you have to use the starting handle 3 times or something?
Yes.
All right.
Imagicant.
Oh, wow. Oh, that was seconds. That was absolute seconds. Someone had quite a lead, and then it was literally about a second in it at the end.
But who won?
You won someone for that
Oh,
first one.
actually?
But you got the timer says 1:18, which is excellent. That's under a minute and a half for a first run, which is very, very good indeed. And it was someone by a whisker, yes. Arlo in chat. So good try. Are we ready to go for another one? Do you want to have another one?
Yeah, sure. Whenever my opponent is ready.
Okay, I'm moving my monitor. I'm flexing my fingers. I'm ready to go again.
Let's go.
Right, okay. So we're going to go one more time, and I'll count you in. And it's 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've got obviously a bit of stream delay here, but that's. And good luck again. Next round.
All right, I managed to pick up the handle
Yeah,
again.
Well, you clipped right through the platform there. That's very nice.
Messed up the menu there, but that's fine. Honestly, the torch is a really good indicator there. All right.
Yeah, I think I'm losing 2-0 here.
There we
I think
go.
it's
Well
fairly.
done.
I think it's fairly obvious that I lost 2-0.
Yeah, no, it's
I
cool.
had a
It's
very
it was
bad
all a bit of
mistake in it.
fun. Yeah, all a bit of fun. Yeah, there we go. Well done,
I tell
GG's.
you, Tim, I know we said, and someone, I know we said best of 3. Can we actually give a third go on this?
Of course.
If someone, if you're up for
I'll grant you the favor for sure.
Because I'd rather, it doesn't make any difference. I'd rather lose 2-1 than 2-0.
All right.
Let's go for
3-0 than 2-0.
it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. See if we
The
can
reason mainly is that I made mistakes in both of the 2 runs.
I'm guessing
They
it's
were
the
jumping
jump at the
errors.
start, isn't it?
Yeah,
So what I found out is that if you just the jump, the long jump towards the starting handle, if you walk a little bit to the right first, like 1 step to the right, it gives enough delay for your spacebar to work again. So that's kind of how I time it.
yes, I get you. Right, so we're ready for one last extremely long speed run.
Let's
So
go.
long.
And can I say again, thank you both for being such amazing sports. It's been really good.
Thank you all, Tim and everybody at Speedrun. I can't wait to see us all tomorrow now for the Boulder Dash
Yes, we're looking
hit
forward to
show.
that.
That's
Yep.
going to be interesting.
Yep,
Yeah.
Sparks will be running Boulder Dash tomorrow, folks. So please tune in for that. Right, okay, I'll count you in. So we're going for 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, I had the platform clip.
Yeah, you get that if you're right on the very edge.
Well, it's fine. At least I didn't fail the platform. Ah, shit. That's unfortunate.
Oh, yeah, that is a wee bit unfortunate. Keep going, keep going. Going to be close again. Yeah, that's pretty much the perfect jump there, Sparks, that you got on that one. This is really close.
Right, if I've lost 3-0 there, that's fair enough. There's no more I could do there. The first one I done well-ish. The second the second one I made a mistake. The third one I've given it all I can.
I mean,
That was
from what
about
I saw, that was a literal, like, millisecond apart or something.
That was a
so-
fraction of a second in someone's favour. That was just a fraction of a second there. So
What
that was
my
amazing.
PB?
Sorry?
What was my personal best?
104.
Oh, okay, so is that good enough to submit to the leaderboards?
Most certainly. Let me check something. I think you've just beaten my time. I am not kidding. Let me have a look. I don't know.
The teacher
I don't
gets
know if
beaten by the student.
Yeah, I think that is slightly faster than my time. Let me have a look. My time, I've got my splits. My time is a 104. There you go. So you've equaled my time on it, someone.
I'm assuming that was the second run, and this one was a little bit slower.
Well, it's actually the second. This one's showing as 104. So maybe the other one. I didn't notice the time on the second one. Did anybody notice
Wow.
the time on the second one, Grizz? I'm not sure.
Jeez.
But anyway, I must just I'll just finish off very quickly with a few words. That was just absolutely fantastic. Thank you both, amazing for participating, for being such good sports. I hope everybody has enjoyed this evening. Second one, last was 108. Oh right, okay, so that one was faster. Maybe there was a timing. Maybe the timing wasn't quite. I don't know. But according to the timer, it was 104. That one. And as I say, yours was about the same, Sparks. So. Absolutely fantastic. So we're going to go with, we're going to say goodnight now, folks. That's going to be us for the evening. And we'll be back tomorrow. We have a fantastic schedule for you. So please, please, please come back. I hope everybody enjoyed. I loved every second of that. And we'll be coming back tomorrow. We've got Jet Set Willie, we've got Chucky Egg, we've got Magic and Dizzy, we've got Boulder Dash, we've got Trapdoor, we've got Yazzie. So we've got all sorts of good stuff tomorrow. So yeah, thank you very much. Just a final word, if anybody wants to say anything. Thank you both again.
Yeah, no, I just want to say thanks to everybody that's been watching tonight. I didn't think I'd be actually learning a new game a couple of weeks ago, especially not a game like Dizzy, a game that I grew up with and love so much. Especially anything Spectrum, Commodore, 8-bit related, I adore. And it was through a link of things that I found this community and found a lot of wonderful people. And I'm looking forward now to more tomorrow and Sunday and in the future. So just a big thank you and make sure everybody comes back.
Yeah, meanwhile, for me, I'm pretty sure this game came out before I was born, or like when I was really young, so it wasn't much of my childhood. However, I do enjoy learning about the existence of these kinds of games. They're quite fun. So yeah, thank you for having me on here.
By the way, I was about 10 when this game was released, so now I do feel old.
I was 13, so yeah, I definitely feel very old. But anyway, thank you so much again, folks. That'll be us for this evening. Thank you for watching the UKSG ZX Spectrum Marathon, and we'll be back about 6 o'clock BST tomorrow. Thank you.